Welcome to Queens of Banter podcast.
The Queens of Banter.
And our it's just us.
It's just us.
It's Naria and
Bookie.
Yes, it's me. It's we're besties, we're sisters, we're friends, and we're here to entertain y'all and to give y'all the show of a lifetime. Okay.
Oh.
And the tea too.
I don't know if we have the levels for the show of a lifetime today.
I think we're gonna get there. Okay. We're gonna get there. I have big dreams.
Period.
I have big dreams.
How's the song go?
She from small towns, but I have bigger dreams.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anyways, thank you guys for joining us on our first podcast of many.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday night.
Every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Around 8:30, 9.
Yeah, real late, real chill, real sexy, real spooky.
Yeah, you guys know you be in your bed, it be cold outside, you want to cuddle up with us at 8:30 on Wednesday.
Absolutely. You want to hear our sexy voices late at night, Okay. So, as our first podcast episode, we want to discuss confrontation. Okay, it's a hot topic in the southern East Ohio region. Okay,
it's been a little hot.
Yeah,
the streets are hot right now. There.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but I do want to give a disclaimer. Okay, none of this is about anyone personal. Okay, we're not talking about anyone personal. Okay, It's just that this is our experiences. And, with Meg the Stallion, she made her song. She never added Nicki, but Nicki took it personally. So if the shoe fits, learn from it. Okay? If the shoe fits, get a different size. Okay? Just, learn from that. So, yes, this is not about anybody particular. This is about our life. This is about the banter, the conflicts, the mediations we've been going through.
Ooh, the word mediation.
I know. That's a big one.
That's a big word. That's a real big word. Real big word. But just to get into this confrontation topic, let's discuss what are the worst ways that people decide to confront people.
The worst ways?
Yeah.
Okay. I think right off the top of my head, okay, when you're confronting someone, okay, if you have no solution, what are you doing there?
Oh, that's that.
What are you
okay,
doing
that's
there?
real. That's a word.
Okay, you're going to come up to this person and be like, you did this, and that. And they're like, okay, what do we do? And you're like,
I don't know. Yeah. I think, for me, the worst type of confrontation is confronting somebody in a group of people. You're being nasty.
You're being nasty.
You're being nasty.
If you want to confront them in a way that you're like, okay, this person, I care for them. They hurt me. Let's try to find a way to, find the middle ground, resolution. But you come to a group of people and you're like, hey, I got something to say to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's nasty.
Yeah, that's really nasty.
That's
because
real nasty.
Honestly, are you doing it for the betterment of the relationship between you and the person you're confronting? Or are you doing it just to get an audience and get the satisfaction of embarrassing someone?
I think it's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Sure.
And people, let's check ourselves. Let's not be bullies, okay? I understand we have our emotions. Things get real, exciting, and we don't know how to let things come off, but let's just be chill for a second and decide to move with some peace. I understand sometimes violence is some people's answers, but it's not always the answer, okay? And violence comes in more than one way.
You know what? I have a question then, Naria.
Tell me.
Okay. So let's say a conflict happens. You're like, ooh, I'm mad. I'm real mad. I'm big mad, okay? And you're like, I got to step away from the situation, okay? And you ask the person, like, hey, I need some space, need some time. How much time is too much time?
Wait. Honestly, truly, before you confronted that person, that was your space and your time to, gather yourself. I don't know if you can really put a number on it.
You're in the situation, the problem's happening right there, right then, okay? Would you just be like, hey, come here, I got something to talk to you.
Honestly, it depends on what it is. If it's a matter of just like you said something crazy to me in the moment, I'm gonna let you know that what you said was absolutely crazy, and I didn't like. Absolutely,
yes.
I don't take that shit standing. Okay, I definitely have to defend myself, especially if you're trying to be nasty and you're trying to be weird and rude, and especially if it's in a group and you're trying to like sun me, then definitely I'm going to let everybody know that like you can't disrespect me like that.
Yes.
Absolutely. But when it comes to that, like the weird subtleties, like, oh, I feel like your energy is getting this and your energy is like that, and like if it's the things that you really cannot put a finger on, then that's when I feel like it'll take some time for you to really gather your evidence, your reasons as to why this bothered you so much. I
understand. I feel like for me, like there have been situations where like I have to take a step back. If I said what I wanted to say, we'd be done. It'd be done.
Oh, like the friendship is done, the relationship is done.
I feel like I could say some crazy stuff sometimes, and I have to like take a step back and be like, let me go sleep on this, journal about it,
Healthy.
Yeah, I'm on my health kick right now.
Okay, mentally healthy. We love a healthy queen.
I'm trying. I'm like, let me gather my thoughts, because a lot of times, like, let's be honest, journaling is that girl.
Ooh.
She's that girl. You don't have to journal on paper. We have technology. You can make a voice note. You can make a notes on the notes app. You can journal on pen and paper if that's what works for you. But like, it really helps me to like break it down, because sometimes I find that like I'm at fault too. I'm like, I did something crazy that at the moment I couldn't even notice that. But like when I take the step back, I'm like, okay, you know what, Buki, you did that crazy thing too, So then when I come back to the conversation, I'm like, hey, yeah, I know, I've been a little nuts, but you were nuts too. Okay, we're both nuttos. We're both over here doing the madness.
Let's normalize confrontation in 2024. Okay, yes. And let's normalize healthy confrontation, and let's abolish weird, nasty, and strange confrontation. Okay, like nasty, some things can be real nasty and real strange. Okay, I think definitely the number one thing is trying to embarrass somebody in the name of confrontation. That was a very selfish move. That was not in good faith, in good taste. Like, if anything, it looks bad on you. You're trying to embarrass this person, but like maybe other people can see that, like, okay, it's in your character to try to like dog people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to really bode well on how you come across either.
Or even like, let's say like what you're bringing up is a valid point. It becomes a little less valid when you're purposefully trying to hurt someone, There's a way to, like, let someone know, like, hey, like, that hurt me in a way that's, like, constructive. It's constructive for you because maybe you can, like, let them know, like, this is why it hurt me, and they can understand more why it's so, like, personable for you. But, like, if you're just there to be like, and you this, and you that, and you did this, and my mama, and your mama, that's crazy, okay? That's just crazy. And, like, let's also normalize accepting fault, okay?
Ooh. Accountability, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a big thing that we need to normalize.
A little bit goes a long way. Okay, you guys are so afraid of accountability. You need to maybe do an ego death. Okay, ayahuasca. Okay, mushroom. A little psychedelic trip. It never hurt nobody. A little psychedelic trip never hurt nobody.
You didn't hear from us, but you heard from her. If y'all want to say Queen of Banter, you better say Neria.
I'm telling you right now. Maybe just one little trip. You get real emotional. You get into that subconscious, and then you kill that ego.
Yeah,
okay?
The ego needs
you gotta dead that ego. So then later on, you can accept that you are a human being and that you are subject to failure. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we just gotta realize that. Okay, I was wilding. I'll take that. Yeah. Like, put your hands up.
Put your hands up, okay?
And tell everybody I was wilding. I was wrong. Yeah. It's okay. Honestly, a lot of people respond well to people taking responsibility for their actions. I don't think if you're dealing with somebody who loves you and cares about you and you decide to take accountability for something that they are confronting you about, I'm sure that conversation go a lot better.
Absolutely.
A lot better.
Absolutely. Because, like, in a lot of situations, like, one person has one side of the story, the other person has another side of the story. But when you're able to be like, you know what you said, you ate me up on that one. You did come correct, and that was something that I did, and I will learn from that. I will change from that. That takes a lot of, like, just not emotional, but it takes a lot of vulnerability, and it also takes a lot of maturity.
Yeah, shout out to vulnerability.
Please, shout out to
It's a
vulnerability. Shout out to vulnerability.
Ladies and gentlemen, vulnerability. Let's
Let's give
normalize.
a clap to her. 'Cause,
With vulnerability.
let's
Honestly.
be honest. How do you expect to have a deeper conversation, a deeper relationship with people when you are not ready to be vulnerable in the slightest?
Let me tell you, I was getting real vulnerable last year. Real
happened?
vulnerable. Like, I feel like, well, not, okay, I feel like my first taste of real vulnerability really came when we, like, moved in together.
Yeah.
Because I had an attitude problem, y'all. And that is on accountability.
Accountability. She's standing on business.
Like, let me tell you, when I was evading accountability, it wasn't going right for me. And it was affecting my relationships with people. Like, there was a wall up because, I had a blind spot for the way I'm coming across,
Yeah.
I thought, my facial expressions, my tone was not being felt by the people I was doing it towards, but they had to tell me, like, girl, you is mad and your attitude is real nasty. And I was like, what, me?
But,
Me?
like, honestly, shout out to you, Naria. Shout out to you. Everybody, shout out to Naria over here because, like, let me be honest with you, Naria. Like, you are very inspirational. You're
What?
Very inspirational.
Don't make me
Naria.
cry.
Don't cry. Keep it in the eye socket. But, like, yes, I feel like moving in together, it definitely teaches you, like, if you really care for that person, it's not you versus them whenever there's a problem. It's both of you versus the problem. Let's figure out what the problem is and let's try to mediate it. Let's try, because our friendship is worth way more to whatever problem.
Shout out
like,
to friendship.
Shout out to friendship.
Shout out to sisterhood.
Yes, I'm loving it here.
Yeah.
I'm loving it here. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's not much that, like, and, like, I think that we're very fortunate. I think we're very fortunate because I don't know if everyone gets the opportunity to, like, find friendships where you can be completely vulnerable in. There's not really much I can tell Nair when she'd be like, oh, I can't fuck with you. Like, that was real nasty. There's not really much that, like, we, like, get embarrassed telling each other, which is good. It's really good. Like, I'm definitely my realist form around you.
Around me.
Around you.
I really appreciate and love that because I care about people and I care about them a lot. And, like, maybe I'm not able to share all myself with everybody that I care about all the time. But, like, I've had experiences in the past where, like, I'm being my true authentic self, but that is rejected. And I think that has a lot to do with why people are so afraid of vulnerability, because they're like, if I'm being myself and that's not accepted, then, like, what the hell else can I do? You know, like, you rejected the rawest part of me, and now I have to, like, figure out, like, who I am, and that's where the ego death comes in, y'all. That's where the ego death come in.
You killed it, didn't you? You killed it. How'd you kill it, Nary?
I think, well, I did do acid one time.
Not exposing yourself.
I mean, I gotta
watch your parents find this podcast and be like, what?
Okay,
She did what?
okay, but the thing is, when I did it, I was paying my own bills, so
Ooh, facts.
I didn't.
Shout out to paying your own bills.
Shout out to paying my bills. Shout out to the girls who pay their rent on time. Okay.
Yes, on time. The first of the month, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, so
make sure you pay your rent.
Okay. If you haven't paid already, now is the time.
Now is the time. We're reminding you, so we hope that you pay your rent.
No eviction notices over here in 2024.
2024,
No. We're gonna pay our rent on time this year. Okay.
Yes.
And shout out to financial stability.
Yeah. You know what? I know this time we're supposed to talk about just confrontation, but wow, we got so much to talk. It's our first episode, so I'm like, wow, there's so much more that we want to talk about,
Right.
because, like, We got everything. We're trying to up 2024, y'all.
We're doing new things.
We're doing big things. You know, we got bigger dreams.
Bigger dreams.
So
yeah.
We're doing the big thing. Okay.
For sure. I think even if this podcast, I think for me, it's just more about people just getting to know me a little better, you know? Because I feel like people have a certain perception of who I am, how I act, what I do. But honestly, no. I feel like there are some things that have to come to the surface, okay? Some people don't really know everything about me, and that's why they try me. And that's why they try me, because they don't know me.
That's another thing, okay? When it comes to confrontation, make sure you know who you are confronting, okay? This is the thing, okay? Me and Neri, we're tit for tat girls, okay? If you're gonna tit, we're gonna tat, okay? So, like, just make sure that when you tit hard. Because when we tat, we may tat harder. So, that's
and a shout out to bullying. Okay?
No.
Let me land.
Okay. Let me land. Cook,
okay, let me cook. When I'm saying shout out to bullying, I'm saying that, like, getting bullied will humble you. Okay, it makes you realize I'm not hot shit. Okay, and once you realize you're not hot shit, and if you use that bullying to empower yourself, then you can realize what's not hot shit about other people. Facts. Okay, so when they try you, you have fuel.
You know what? Okay? That's so true because, like, let's be honest, we've been bullied. Okay,
I've been bullied,
especially growing up as
dark skin.
I grew up as a plus
African.
Like, yeah, I was definitely bullied. Okay, I was definitely bullied. I was definitely tried. And there was a time where, like, I was just extra kind to people because I didn't want to be bullied. So I did the opposite. I was so kind to a point that it was to my detriment, you know? But now, I don't give a fuck.
Tell me a little bit more about your non-confrontational past.
My past. That's a good question, Mary. Okay.
Yeah.
So beforehand, I had this podcast I was having in my brain, and it was between me and me, okay? If someone did something to me, I would never confront them. I would just let it build up. I let it build up. I'd change my perception of that person. And, like, they may not have been what I thought they were, but I just never had the conversation with them, you know? And, like, also because, like, there's always going to be that stigma of, like, Black women are mad and they're this and they're that. So, like, I was, especially growing up in, like, I went to Catholic school, predominantly white, for a long time.
Right.
Like, I had to be very careful about my image, you know? Like, instead, I remember being young and having the title of mad Black little girl. I was a little girl. And I was already thought to be, like, a bully because I would always say what I felt. And, like, I was always 10 toes down. I was always in the dirt. I was literally always in the dirt. I was always muddy, too. So, that did not...
Shout out to getting dirty.
That did not help my reputation. But, like, I remember, like, kids did not fuck with it. They did not fuck with it. And I remember my rebrand. I think I remember the exact grade I started the rebrand.
Shout out to rebrand. Tell me about the rebrand.
So, I remember in 4th grade, okay? 4th grade... I remember the summer before 4th grade, I was like, I am going to go into this year being so kind. I'm going to kind the hell out of these people, okay? So that's exactly what I did. Yeah. I pulled up the next day, I'm like, hi, everybody. How was your summer? I was like, oh, my God. Like, what happened to you? Oh, I was over here doing the madness. And I took that for years. Even up until adulthood, honestly. And, like, it wasn't until, like, I realized just how much I had no idea who the hell I was. I completely deaded whoever I was, and I just became whoever people wanted me to be. When I was around Stacy, I was a certain person. When I was around Nancy, I was a certain person. Whoever I was around, I would figure out who you wanted me to be, and that's who I was. I was playing the game, okay? That was what made me comfortable, okay? But, like, it is exhausting.
Right.
It is so exhausting doing that. And especially, like, eventually it's going to come to a climax where you're going to be like, who the hell am I? What the fuck do I like?
That crisis.
It's a crisis.
That identity crisis. And
really
honestly, let's talk a little bit about how much pressure you put on yourself at 9. Like, how old are you in 4th grade? You're like 8 or 9 years old. You're putting so much pressure on yourself to, you know, fit in and do well, like, amongst your peers, and you destroy your self-confidence because you're like, I'll do anything for these people to, treat me like a person. And that's
Yeah.
the main thing that you're looking for. Like, I just want to be treated like everybody else. I want to be respected. I want to have friends. Like, I don't want to be labeled as something negative. And it's sad that, like, as a kid, you put all this pressure on yourself to, make yourself something that you're just not. Okay.
That's facts.
And yeah, the identity crisis goes hard. Like, for me too, like, I may have had I definitely changed up who I was as well, because like I went from going to like public elementary schools with predominantly like black kids and minorities, and then getting transitioned into a private Christian school. There was one of the very few black girls in class. And then I remember I started in sixth grade. I was known to be very quiet my first year. I mean, I had a personality, but I only really showed it to like people I was close to. Then like seventh grade, I was like, okay, like I'm not getting any sort of like recognition. I'm not getting any sort of like friendships or anything. So I was just like, oh, let me just be funny. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just saying what was on my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how I still am to this day. Like I think people find me very funny, but like
I find you funny.
I'm just saying stuff that is in the brain. Like,
Yeah, facts.
I'm not trying to copy nobody. Like, I didn't get this from anyone. Like, this is just who I am. And I.
Oh,
I ran out of ginger, so one is ginger and one is green.
period. Everybody shout out to Mike. Everybody shout out to Mike.
Say hello to our lovely director, Mike, who
Mike,
got us tea.
He got us tea. Yeah, literally did.
Okay, cheers.
Yes.
A little hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me let this cool
We're gonna
down.
let it cool down.
Yeah.
We got enough heat over here in the conversation.
Yeah, look.
So, yeah, back to like the stuff that I went through as a child. Oh man, the things I went through as a child.
Honestly,
it shapes us.
It shapes.
And like you were saying, you being a kid in those formative years, putting so much pressure on yourself to be something you're not. You take it into your adulthood. You realize it's just not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be comfortable with knowing that like everybody's not gonna like us. The same way you don't like everybody else. You're not gonna like everybody's not gonna like you either. And there's not much. All you can be is yourself. The people who like you for you are gonna stick around. The people who don't like you for you, they're gonna go, and you have to be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And we also have to evaluate like the depth of our friendships. Like honestly, I think another way to kind of like measure the depth is the length of the friendship too. I feel like people can be very desperate for connection, and they can attach themselves to people way too
Which
quickly.
just comes from trauma.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like a lot of us, like, we are like a conglomeration of a lot of trauma, but a lot of it made us not be things that we knew. Like, we did not even know that was something that we did until, like, it was detrimental, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, I do agree. Like, I didn't want to, like, cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Like, yes, I feel like we've been friends for, should we do the math?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay,
7 years.
For 7 years.
Yeah, the 7-year itch.
Yeah.
They usually say that's for like married couples.
It's so funny because our friendship anniversary is 420 every year.
Oh yeah, it is. That's when we met.
That's when we met.
That was the first time we met.
But yeah, like so, like honestly, like we have had like phases in our friendship growth. Like we've had it all. We've gone through a lot. A lot. And I'm a psych major, and part of we're gonna get a little educational up in here. So in like what I've studied is that like people who've had like hardships together tend to create more intimacy in their friendship, and the friendship gets deeper, or the relationship gets deeper. So like honestly, you can't really expect much out of somebody in a short amount of time, because there hasn't been enough friction but like in your personal life and their life to really test the strength of the relationship. It's kind of like you build like a bridge, and then like you want to test the bridge, so you kind of like you might stand on the bridge, or you jump on it or something, just to see if there's any cracks, any fragments. And when you see that like, oh, the bridge can't really hold this much weight, we're gonna like improve that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
So yeah, I think that's that analogy goes well with friendship. Like, you have a friendship, something happens in your personal life, something happens to your friend, or something happens to the both of you, and you're both affected. And then that kind of like creates, like, it'll show some cracks in the friendship, in your character, but you know, because you're committed to the friendship, you're going to do what you can to, fix those issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, again, shout out to friendship.
Woo!
Like, honestly, like there's some things that like I know like I have like a lot of friends. Like I'm very fortunate to have like good friends, like great like, interpersonal connections with people. But like there's just things that like about me, like character traits that like even I didn't even know for myself and there's like, you do that. I'm like, what? I do that?
Yeah.
So like yes, and but like the thing about it is like we accept each other for who we are. Like I never have to like, especially because we do live together, y'all. We do live together.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's never a time I come home I'm like, okay, I have to act like this around area, like, cause like she only likes me when I'm like this. Like it's never like that.
Ooh.
It's very much like this is me. This is
Mm-hmm.
me. And you're very accepting of it. And I do enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have other friendships like that as well. I definitely have other deep connections as well. And I'm very fortunate for them too. It's just that, like, it's pretty crazy, y'all. Like, sometimes me and Nara will be telling each other stories of our life. Like, that happened to me too. Like, we have very much, like, similar backgrounds. Our backgrounds are so similar sometimes.
Yeah, it gets a little scary.
It gets a little scary.
I'm like, how that happened to you too? How?
I'm talking about a lot. Like,
Yeah. There's a lot of overlap, and it's really like sometimes, like, sometimes people say opposites attract, but sometimes the similars attract
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I can definitely appreciate people who are different from me. So I'm just gonna get on a tangent real quick about, like, judgments. Okay, being judgmental. Um, I feel like one of the main ways to kind of like reduce your judgmental, like,
Tendencies.
exactly,
Yeah.
tendencies is to recognize the imperfections within yourself, okay? And understand that, like, I am not perfect, and actually mean it, and like,
Yeah.
not only am I not perfect, but I'm not better than other people. I'm not. I'm just different from them, I'm not better than them, and I myself am not perfect. I make mistakes. I have things about me I don't want other people to know. I have behaviors that I wish I could stop, but I can't. You have to get very comfortable with those imperfect parts of you so that you can accept other people. And you will do yourself a disservice being judgmental. You have to get comfortable with allowing people who are different than you into your space, like, to a healthy
To a healthy
degree.
degree, yeah.
Obviously, like, if it's somebody who's like has a really destructive
Oh
patterns,
yeah.
and you know that.
Please throw them away. Find the nearest trash can, put them in them, close up the trash, take it outside, and then put it into a dumpster.
I know we were talking about confrontation today, but I also want to kind of talk about, like, my favorite topic, self-worth.
Ah, I love that one. Yes, I think one thing you gotta know about us is like, yes, we do have like these conversations where it's just like, me and Naria banter, but like we're very fortunate, like we are privileged to also have an educational background that we can like, pull upon that. You have the psych team, Naria, she be reading people's minds because she's in the psych. I'm just kidding.
That's just not what psychology is about. Literally every guy who tries to, like, talk to me and ask me, like, what I study and stuff, I'll be like, oh yeah, I study psych, and like, oh, so what am I thinking? I'm like, that was not hot. And the last 8 guys said the same thing. So
Wow. So if you're trying to riz Naria, please do not use that
don't use that line.
Don't use that line.
I mean, unless you're hot, then it's fine.
Okay, if you're real hot, you can use it with caution. Okay, use it with caution. But yes, oh my gosh, I feel like sometimes when it comes to like self worth and everything like that. So lately, I have been taking upon myself every other Friday to go to a high school and mentor these children. Okay, and the first topic I told them about was self worth. I'm like, this is something very important. Like even I wish I knew at a younger age. But like I feel like people value like grades. People value like, you know, what college are you going to? They value like how much money can you make. But like there's so much that you could progress in if you knew a little bit more about yourself. Okay. Because like there's just so many things that are like hindrance and like blockages in our lives that like we don't even know it's there because we never took the time to even like get to know ourselves, you know. So I think that like one thing I would say definitely helped me was like I used to just think, and it might be my ADHD, and some people may catch me sometimes, okay? I love to people watch. I will sit in a room, not say anything sometimes, and just watch people live. Because, like, I just love learning more about human behavior.
What do you get out of that?
I see how people interact. I learn more even about like the people I know. I'm like, oh, like this is how they interact. Like I can learn more about like what they like. I'll just like watch people sometimes because like it's great to know more about human behavior. And, you know, like, I know, like, I'm flawed. All of us are flawed. We're all flawed individuals. So, like, even, like, going back to the conflict thing, like, when you can accept that, when you can accept the fact that, like, I am not a perfect individual and I may take some fault in this situation, it makes it so much easier to even have the conversation in the first place because, like, you're not coming at it from a place of, like, this person hurt me and like they're vindictive. Like you're not coming from that place. You're coming from a place of like, yeah, like this was messy. This happened. I have these facts, this fact, that, you know, like you can collect it a little bit more. You could take the fault that you own and you can give back things that you know that you never did. Cause that's what stops people from gaslighting you as well. When you're able to like acknowledge like this is my fault and this is
Can
not.
we give a quick definition of gaslighting, Bookie? Thank you.
I think you're a psych major. I think you should give it.
Oh, okay.
Should we ask Google it?
I mean, I know what gaslighting is.
Okay.
Gaslighting, first, the term was coined from a film about a man who was slowly decreasing the light in the home, and he was basically trying to make his wife feel crazy when she would bring it up, like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the house. It's always been like this, you know? Okay, so gaslighting is basically, it's a manipulative technique where somebody makes you question your better judgment, okay? So gaslighting is not just hurling insults, and gaslighting is not lying. Gaslighting is just like a strategic way to make somebody question their judgment.
Yes. And definitely have been around people who like to light gas. They like to light it, you know? And, like, I think, like, being around those people, I'm not going to say, like, I regret it. I'm glad that I was around those people at the time I was because it helps me to acknowledge it from other people even sooner. Like, oh, my gosh, Naria.
Tell me, is this a story? Is this an anecdote?
This is kind of personal.
Okay, you can leave out some details.
Okay. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna gist. This is gisting. So recently, I had someone come into my DMs. Okay.
Ooh.
Had someone
Which DMs exactly?
You're so crazy.
Which DMs?
Okay. I had someone come into my school DMs, my Canvas. Okay. They came into my school
Crazy
DMs.
Riz.
And what you need to know about me is that I am Nigerian. I did Bukola, Buki.
Shout out to West Africa.
Shout out to the West Side.
West Side is the best side.
Oh, don't do that for the East Side's coming to get you. The South Side.
I'm not afraid.
Oh, okay.
I'm not afraid.
With caution. But yeah, so I had someone come into my DMs and they were like, hey, I'm Nigerian. I'm in your class. Let's do homework. I'm like, okay, period. This class is hard. Please help me with the homework, okay? But, like, I guess, like, when he heard homework, he heard more like, oh, she's feeling me.
He heard working her in the home, you know.
Yeah. Ooh, you in trouble.
Oops. Okay. He heard working in the home. That's what he heard.
Crazy. Okay. This was probably one of the most, I cannot lie to you, one of the most disrespectful situations I've ever been in my life. I've never been disrespected to this degree in my life, especially by a man. I've had a lot of disrespect by men before, but this person
Takes the cake.
took the cake, had the audacity, had the tenacity, had it all, okay? And he really tried to gaslight the hell out of me. But I'm glad I know who the hell I am. You can never try that with me, okay? So this person's like, hey, like, can we meet up and, like, do homework? So I'm like, yeah, okay. So I go over to their place. First mistake, That's my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Accountability for sure, for
Okay,
sure.
I go over to this place and everything. First of all, should I even give I'm not gonna give all the background. I'm just gonna go with the situation. Go to this place. And before I even go to this place, I tell this man, I don't want anything with you. Don't want to sleep with you. Don't want nothing from you. I already gave him the preamble.
The rundown.
The rundown. I gave him
Yeah.
the rundown beforehand. He said, no problem, no problem, no problem. I said, okay, perfect. Go to this person's house, okay? So he was trying to convince me to date him, okay? And I was like, sir, I don't want to date you. I don't even really want to date right now because I'm fresh back in school.
Busy gal, busy
We're
gal
over here
team.
podcasting. I'm over here schooling. I'm over here mentoring. I'm over here volunteering. I'm over here working. I have very limited time, and especially very limited time for you. For you. Okay. Sometimes
The for you was silent.
Okay, it was silent.
The for you was silent.
For you, like there's sometimes I just don't have time, especially for someone who I just do not vibe with. Okay. So. Try to convince me.
Was this person sexy?
Absolutely not.
Was this person tall?
No, he was not tall.
Was this person rich? Oh, okay. Well,
he was none of the above.
Okay.
He was none of the above, but he wanted to humble me.
Yeah, because he was Saudi.
Yeah.
He was Saudi. But go ahead, girl.
Like, he just tried to... Okay, so first of all, I am a plus-size gal, okay?
Oh.
So... He told me like
shout out to the cute fluffy women.
Thank you.
Shout out to the sexy, the big sexy women.
Big sexy women. Shout out to y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
But okay. So he was like, you're 25. In 5 years, you're gonna double your size. So you might as well settle down now while you're at your peak.
God forbid.
God, I said tofiakwa. It's not my portion.
Not my portion, Jesus.
It's not my portion. It's not my portion. And you're telling me that I should settle for you, sir, because I'm a beautiful plus-size person.
Absolutely.
You're crazy.
Absolutely.
You're mad. And this person, like, I'm not going to give too much detail about them. But, like, as a Nigerian, there are things that come with our culture when you are in Nigeria, especially if you were born and raised in Nigeria. And like being born in America as a Nigerian, I don't hold on to those cultural norms, especially the ones that I do not find healthy. I do not hold on to them. I let them go. Like, I love the parts of my culture that, are beautiful and like they are really, self-serving, and like I love those parts of my culture. But there are parts of my culture that are very disgusting, okay? And one of them is, misogyny, okay? So, like, for you to tell me that I am not, like, my worth is less than and that I need to settle for you, that's crazy, that's mad. And the maddest part is this man came back to my phone after disrespecting me, after giving me fire, after doing all this. He came back to my phone and he was like, can you send me the homework answers? Ask your mom to send you the homework answers. Ask your dad, ask someone else to get you. I'm not giving you no dang homework answers. You're crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish she ate him up more when she was at his house. Like, she should have punched him right in the fucking mouth.
Damn, I was bigger than this man.
Yeah, I wish she punched him right in his mouth as soon as he said that, because, like, how dare you? Obviously, you've never been punched in the mouth before.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, like, let's not do that. Like, I feel like let's just get into the fat phobia of it all, okay?
Yeah.
In this society, we have a proclivity to value people of certain sizes and a proclivity to, downgrade, degrade people who are past that size. And, every social setting is different. Yes, there's certain places where, like, my body is celebrated, certain places where my body is disgusting. But with that being said, like, when people even talk about fat phobia, first of all, they get gaslighted. They get told, like, oh my God, it's your fault. You're not on the treadmill. You're the one eating the cheeseburgers. You're the one eating the french fries. That's why you're big as hell. And you're making it everybody else's problem, okay? No, honestly, okay? First of all, just because somebody is eating the cheeseburger and the fries, that doesn't mean that you should fucking degrade them.
Less like, they're still human.
They're still a human being, guys. Let's be kind. I feel like a lot of the times that, like, if you try to speak on something like this, then it's like, oh, well, you're just mad because you're fat. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm mad because you guys are treating me like I'm not a human being. Yeah, like.
And then don't let you be big and black. to be a big
And don't be poor.
a bigger black woman and poor. That that's the madness right there.
It's a crazy combination.
The combination.
It's not nice. It's not sweet. It's not sweet. And we're gonna talk about it. I know it's gonna make other people uncomfortable. We're gonna talk about it. And and this is why we have such a big fitness industry. This is why our diet culture is the way it is. Like, there is something to be gained for being smaller. There's something to be gained for being a certain size. Not only the health benefits. Nobody even cares about the health benefits. We're talking about the access.
Yeah.
We're talking about the opportunities. That's what we're really talking about, okay? Yeah. People praise certain things, people accept certain things, and people are doing anything to be that. People are getting eating disorders to get that. People are killing themselves to get that because it matters that much. I mean, I heard a couple of crazy statistics that said, like, women who are a certain size make, like, 50% more than women who are not.
I can believe it.
Yeah, because, a lot of the times women's, like, value and their, resources are attached to a man, and the better you look, the better man you get. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So,
this is a patriarchal society, so, yeah. And
not us covering all them topics.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we going to talk about next time? We cover all of them.
No, I mean, we're just skimming the surface at this point.
We really are.
Back to the topic at hand, confrontation, okay?
Confrontation.
Her.
French.
Yeah, that's French for confrontation, for those of you who only speak English, okay? I'm just kidding. I don't speak any French.
I was about to say.
I don't speak any French. Je ne sais quoi. That's all I know. Bonjour, bonjour. Okay? But that's the topic at hand, confrontation. As you can see, we even confronted other topics. We confronted the topic of fat phobia. We confronted topics of misogyny, confronted topics of patriarchy, colorism, bullying, all sorts of things. And that's just the type of thing that we're into. I could talk about any of those things
all day.
For days. And I need, like, a healthier place to, like, do it all because, I know everybody doesn't want to hear that all the time.
Yes. But, like, if the topic is there and it's ready and it can blend in perfectly with the situation, I'm gonna blend it.
Oh, purr.
Blend it.
Because honestly, we're still in those systems right now.
And
so
they affect us on a daily basis. They do.
On a daily basis, on a subconscious basis, on a subliminal basis, on an implicit basis. Like, it's not always, people are not screaming at me about my body every day, but, like, part of the way you get treated is based on the way you look.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Even if I was thin, still dark, still black.
Yeah.
Okay?
Facts. And the thing about it is, like, as bigger people, we can't say nothing. If we say something, we jealous, we nasty, we ugly, we doing it. We doing the most,
Yeah.
So we can't even, like, we can't be like, hey, you did that to me because I'm fat. But, like, I can tell the difference because, like, the way you're treating my friend who is a smaller person is completely different and how you're gonna treat
night
me.
And day.
It's literally night and day, and it's really implicit. Like, it's not even something that is that correct?
Yeah, you're right.
It's very implicit because it's not something that people that, like, consciously know that they're doing. It's just part of how we were programmed or trained or, like, what we are used to,
Yeah.
So, and, like, as someone who it affects, of course I can notice it. But, like, as someone who it doesn't affect, then, like, you can't notice it. It's really hard to
exactly.
catch that.
And that's where the gaslighting comes in. When you try to tell your thinner counterparts, like, hey, they're treating me crazy because of my size. And then they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I've been this size for a while, so I know.
But you know what? I have to say, shout out to a lot of my thinner friends. They do understand that. Like, a lot of times when I have the conversation with them, they're like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So, like, shout out to them. Shout
out to them. Like, honestly, like, it's the worst is when, like, trying to, like, point out something subliminal and you don't have any evidence for it because they didn't say anything explicitly, but, like, you know what it's doing to your spirit.
It's the way you act, okay? Like, you acting different to me. You acting weird to me. So, I noticed that. But you don't.
Yeah. And sometimes people know why they're doing what they're doing, but they're all, because they didn't say anything, they have that plausible deniability. They don't really have to own up to it. They can just be like, you're crazy. Because the worst thing I feel like it's really bad when people try to, like, ooh, are we low battery?
Oh. It's okay. We have like 15 minutes left.
Okay. So, 10 minutes. All right. But yeah, back to that. Like people are just going to make their assumptions based on like, you know, based on like how you look. They'll make assumptions, they'll make value judgments on your character and, proceed with that without actually getting to know you. And I feel like sometimes that is the one of the benefits of being thinner. Like people already will assume positive things about you or just being attractive in general, halo effect. People are going to just assume positive things about you.
Yeah.
But this is not me trying to be bitter and like jealous and stuff. Like, cause let me tell you something. I thought I had a normal conversation with somebody about colorism, and they went ahead and twisted my words to make it seem as though like I was speaking on colorism because I'm jealous of that other person's skin tone. Okay.
Which is crazy.
Which was not the conversation I've ever had. It was just an objective conversation about colorism, about like, okay, I'm darker, you're lighter, you may get this, I may get that. And in the moment, that person sounded and acted like they were able to understand the concept that I was talking about. But then when I'm not around, then they want to use that as fuel as to why, me and them are not on good terms. Yeah. And that really hurt me, honestly, because like I thought I was being honest, raw, normal. I could like honestly like that's why all these disclaimers we're doing, because the worst is when people try to twist your words and make you have to be something that you're not and go around with narratives that were not your intention. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can only do our best, honestly. Like,
and we're all human. I think we need to learn how to humanize one another, okay? I am no different than a lot of other people when it comes to the fact that, like, when you have all of these expectations of me, like, Buki needs to act like this because, like, she's this, it's just not valid. I'm still human. I'm still prone to error. And, like, if I do not meet your expectations, okay. Like, unless it's something that's, like, well, like, this is something that's, like, essential for our friendship, then confront me on it. And if it's something that I'm like, you know what, I should take accountability for that, I will, because I'm growing. 2024, I'm standing on business, and part of business is accountability, okay? Taking accountability for everything. And also, I'm going to take a second to manifest everything, okay? I'm manifesting, okay? This year, I'm going to be a lot more introspective. I'm going to, I'm going to do what it needs to be done. I'm going to treat myself how I treat other people. I love to care for other people. I can't lie. Like, I know a lot of times I have friends who are like, Buki, you're doing a lot for these people. And that is true, because when I genuinely care for people, I am going to put my effort, my time, my money, I'm going to put it all into you because I genuinely care for you. Mm-hmm. But in the same breath, I'm going to give myself even more. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like, I want to keep giving to my friends, but I need to stop pouring from, like, an empty cup. I'm trying to spend 2024 filling my cup to the brim. And when it spills over, y'all can have the spillage. Y'all can have the spillage over, okay? But for now, like, I'm trying to validate myself. I'm trying to take my energy from my own internal powers, like, love everyone. I love all my friends so much, and I'm very grateful for everyone. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like, I'm very grateful that I actually live with some of my friends, too, because, like, it gives me, like, that sense of friendship, like, on a consistent basis that's kind of effortless, Because, like, I do understand that, like, friendship, let's be honest, you need to pour into it. Like, you need to put effort into it. I think some people find that, like, the easier friendships that, like, like, they can just, like, flow in, flow out is the best for them. And that's great. Like, honestly, like, it's good to have friendships like that as well. But I feel like I get the most out of my friendships where, like, I acknowledge you and, like, I'm going to pour back into you. Like, even the other day, I was like, Mary had a real hard day. I feel like her day was hard. And also, for all of my friends, okay, pour into each other, okay? Like, if you feel like I can, then do. Like, I was just like, Neri had a real hard day. I'm like, let me make her dinner. It was just a simple thing, okay? And it's a thing that I'm like, I used to be like, I'm going to wait for a man. He's going to love me. He's going to cook for me. And, he's going to make sure I'm taken care of. Fuck that, okay? I'm going to do it for my friends. I'm going to treat my friends like that. I'm going to give to all the people who I love like that because, like, y'all deserve it. Truly, y'all deserve it because y'all pour into me in a way that you guys may never understand, Mm-hmm. So, like, I just feel like it's good to have the friendships that like, you know, you can pour into. And it's also good to have like those friendships that you can kind of flow in and out of where it's not like high energy. I have both, and I'm fortunate to have both of them, you know.
Right, right. I definitely can agree with that. Like, honestly, like, de-pedestalizing, like, romantic relationships is really important, especially for a woman, because there's a lot of messages in media that make us think that we're not anything if we don't have that. Like, it's like, as soon as, like, you go through puberty, like, where my man at, you know?
Yeah,
And,
yeah. In the great words of Chimamanda Adichie, okay, like what did she say? She said that they teach women to aspire to marriage.
yeah,
Like, why am I aspiring to marriage? I am so much more than that. Like, we're there are so many more things about me that are very valuable than just like what I can bring. Oh, back to that man. He asked me what I can bring to a table. I don't bring no tables. I don't
oh,
bring nothing to a table. I don't even see a table. And if we're having a table, make sure it's at a nice fancy restaurant and the waiter is bringing something to the table. But other than that, I don't bring shit to a table. Okay,
yeah, I'm bringing me, like,
that's it.
honestly, men, these podcasts, these nasty misogynistic podcasts that you guys are listening to, that is reinforcing your misogynistic ideas. It's keeping you away from the pussy. It's
It
keeping,
sure is.
it's it
It
is it
really
is
is.
it is it is keeping all the pussy away from you. Stop listening to that nonsense and read an actual book. Okay, you think these men on these podcasts are like more successful than you, or like they get more women than you because of the advice that they're giving you? Absolutely not. All they're doing is feeding into a certain grift, basically. Like, it's very easy to tap into the incel market and go viral
Oh yeah.
because I don't know, during the pandemic, like, there's just this there's just like fitness trainer to like incel pipeline that everybody is. I'm being dead serious. Like, when somebody goes viral for having muscles, the next thing they want to do is make a podcast and degrade women and try to dunk on women, probably because the reason they were in the gym because of a heartbreak. And now, they thought that they've, cured themselves by maxing out their reps. But honestly,
Not maxing out the
they
reps.
should have went to therapy, okay? So
Yeah.
shout out to therapy.
Normalize
Therapy.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. But yes, I feel like this has been a great podcast. We're gonna be here every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday
Just
night.
gisting, and like I mean, these are conversations that I'm fortunate to have with my friends all the time. But like I'm like, let us bring these conversations out in the public light, okay?
Publica.
And like, yes, like we're just here to vibe, just
Javibe.
vibe,
Yeah.
and just to like have conversations that are like real and like, that we can both learn from and grow from and like be able to just like have a healthy avenue to like have these conversations as well. So, yes.
And that's a wrap.
We appreciate you guys tuning in to the first episode of Queens of Banter.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Mike. Shout out to Mike, everybody. Shout out to Mike.
Thank you.